Alright. Hey guys, Shadoweh91 here. I'm playing some Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep. We're going to be doing category Aqua any percent beginner on PS3, so the load times are a little wonky. But the first thing we're going to do before the run even starts is I have to show that I'm playing on beginner here. And skip the forced tutorial that you do in the beginning here. Gonna shrink the Woody, of course. So this game, if you're familiar with the Kingdom Hearts franchise, it takes place 10 years before KH1. I'm not gonna go too into depth about the whole KH storyline. If you really want to know about that, Google it or something, because it's really convoluted. But we have three characters here. We have Terra, we have Ventus, we have Aqua. Terra, he's kind of like the heavy hitter. He attacks really slow. Ventus, he's the quick hitter, does a lot of combos, and Magic is the magic. Aqua is the magic-based person. So our timing's going to begin when I hit X on yes here. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, so basically, to explain what's going on right now, because this is an RPG, we are chosen Keyblade wielders who are trying to pass an exam to earn the right of mastery. Basically, to be judged worthy of passing on our powers to future descendants. AKA Sora, Riku, Kairi. You'll figure it out later. You'll see. You're gonna get spoiled on this game if you haven't played it already. It's a speed run. You shouldn't be watching it if you. But the first boss we have here is Orbs of Light. They're kind of trolly in that they like to just bounce around the screen a lot, and we hope that Terra and Ven help us out and just beat him senseless. I'm sorry, Capri, I'm sorry. I'm ruining your experience. So this fight has 3 phases, where orbs spawn. They love to just warp around the room, because they're annoying. Basically, you have 2 masters. You have Ericus, who's the Master of Light, and Xehanort, who's the Master of Darkness. Spoilers, I know. Oh my god. I'm spoiling more. Xehanort basically used his power to make these orbs become alive and just move all over the place. So they're just like, wait, why are they acting funky? And just not even question it. Alright. So, that was kind of a meh orbs fight, but we'll make it work. Alright, so after that fight, we got something called a command style. You'll notice how I had the commands Quick Blitz, Blizzard, and Thunder. There's a gauge up above it that we use. If we use certain commands, certain command styles can unlock. If you don't use certain commands, you'll just have what's called a finish command, and it does a powerful move. It doesn't do an ultimate or anything like that. But in command styles, you get to do these really cool ultimate attacks, and we're going to be abusing a couple of them to finish some of these bosses quick. So right now, basically, the 3 characters, to explain what's going on, they're all going off on their own little separate journey. Sort of thing. Only 2 hours? You thought KH games were 82 billion hours? No, this game's actually pretty short. It's not the shortest one in the series, but it's pretty short. So now we get to explore the worlds to investigate what's going on, why are these things called unversed, which is basically things that spawn from people's negative feelings are coming about all over the place. And we're trying to investigate why. Right now we're in the Castle of Dreams, which is Cinderella's world. And there's a couple things that I need that I will explain later in the run, why I need them, once they come up. But the fastest way of movement in this game is just cartwheeling, because somehow you can cartwheel upstairs. I don't get how or why, but you can. Alright, so we had a meeting with, you know, who's the fairest of them? Wait, that's Snow White, I'm sorry. I forget Cinderella's plot exactly, but basically, like, oh, Prince Charming is going to take our evil stepsisters to the ball or something. It was something like that. And she's like, and they're like, no, you're too wicked. I need somebody more pure. And so, later on, he meets Cinderella in Terra's story, and then they live happily ever after. The end. What part is the Toy Story level? That's in KH3. There is no Toy Story level in this, I'm sorry. Sorry, Ace. There's a couple chests that I'm also going to be grabbing, like that high potion chest, to sell later for magic that we're going to need later, because we're going to need money. Obviously, we're not killing enemies to get money. What do you mean, no Toy Story level? I'm sorry, Thermal, there's no Toy Story level. Not until KH3, which I literally just got yesterday, so shh, don't talk about KH3, please. Alright, so now we're going to go see... we're going to see, Cinderella to ask, her, like, hey, we found this glass slipper that was at the house. It doesn't belong to your evil stepsisters, so we're gonna like see if it belongs to you. And so Aqua's locked out, and we gotta figure out how to get inside. So the fairy godmother's gonna warp us inside, but to let Cinderella's locked up in her room, and her friend Jacques the mouse has a key that's gonna let her out. Don't ask me how a mouse is supposed to open the door, but we got an escort mission. And so, basically, we want to try to kill every enemy that's in his path so he can move forward to the other side of the room. This is what I was saying earlier with the command styles and their finishing moves. She just kind of twirls around and hits a bunch of enemies around her. It's pretty cool. Apparently Jack moved without me, so... I wasn't expecting that, so this fight's not the greatest right now, but I can make do. It's why I made a generous estimate in case things do go wrong. Alright, he made it to the mouse hole, guys. We did it. And we got another command style called Thunderbolt. Basically, as it says, you use a bunch of lightning commands, and she's able to use it. That's it. Nothing special about it. I'm guessing me, Capri, Thermal, Susie, Peter, maybe Brandon? I don't know. I guess we'll find out. But yeah, TS2 is after this. We got like an hour and a half before that. Alright, so Cinderella ran away because she finally got out of there. She's like, no! Prince Charming, that glass slipper is actually mine! Because her evil stepmother and stepsisters insist it's theirs. And she's like, no, you can't go to the ball. And so they're like, we're gonna steal your carriage. and then their hearts, like, possess the carriage, and... Dude, I don't know how to explain this. KH plot is weird, man. It's weird. So this guy has a couple attack patterns. One where he just kind of lashes at you, one where he jumps like this, one where he spawns enemies, and one where he's flying and shooting bombs at you, and another where he's eating you. We don't want the one where he's eating us, like this one. Because it's hard to block. Especially if you're right in his face. And that's Curse Coach. Don't eat Shadow! Why are we fighting a shiny pumpkin? I'm not really sure. There's the 3 KH games, this is a fan game. This is my second favorite of the series. It's a lot of fun, and you'll see why I like it later. Because we're not doing my favorite mechanic of the run just yet. All right, so we're done with Cinderella's World. About 10 minutes in. Kind of a sloppy run at the moment, but it can get better. Runaway Bride. Yeah, you should probably ask in, like, the Toy Story Discord or something, Kivri, about who's joining. Alright, so now we're in Snow White's world. The evil queen, as you've seen in the Snow White films, she's trying to trick Snow White into giving her an apple, and then it's a poisoned apple, and the dwarves are grieving because she's dead. I can't believe Snow White is dead, guys. And the only way to awaken her is to have true love's kiss or something. Yeah. Disney. Alright, there's a couple chests we gotta grab. This poison chest first. We're gonna need it for a couple bosses. Basically, it allows us to do damage over time on bosses once we cast it, which is pretty neat. We're gonna need it for the next boss and one boss later on. Grab another high potion here that we're gonna sell later. I'm sorry. It's a speed run. You probably shouldn't be watching it if you're not expecting to be spoiled about the game. Alright, there's kind of a tricky, unintended way of getting this here. Jump onto this wall, ledge grab it, and then we're gonna, whoops, not do that. Jump onto this arc here, and then jump over and barrier surge to this chest. Normally we can't get that chest until we get an ability called Double Flight, which we don't get until the second last world. Alright, so we're gonna do our first menu here once we grab this Fleeting Crystal. I'm gonna add the Fission Firaga spell that I just got, and Poison. She's a max revive, she'll be fine, or a full restore. Oh, you're right. Alright, we're gonna want to kill this bruiser enemy here. Yes, they're called bruisers. For some money and experience. Mostly. because we want to be level 2 by the time we fight the next boss. So there's a couple things that we need to do in this room here. It's called the Vault. There's a couple enemies that we need to beat, and some chests to grab. One of which is right here, a shimmering crystal. I'll explain what the crystals do later, once we are able to use them. But we're gonna need them. Alright, we're gonna open this chest here. It's actually a fake chest. It's a mimic, if you've played any RPGs. Just gives us some experience and money. Alright, there's a tricky jump here that I haven't quite optimized. So, I'm gonna wait for that to go. And I missed it. It's okay, we have a backup strat. Just light up the stove. Grab this chest up here. And since I'm level 2, I don't need to beat any of those enemies, so we're just gonna beat up this chest here. It's another mimic. Grab some more money. And fight our next boss, the Magic Mirror. Just got back to see Aqua cartwheeling. The fastest way to move in this game. Alright, Magic Mirror's our first troll boss. Like, really troll boss. The attack that we don't want him to do is his wall attack. You'll see what I mean if he does it. But he likes to move around a lot, so we want to stay on him. And then he's gonna get back up. We're gonna cast poison on him. Let him do his side-to-side move here. Spam some bubbles. Guard his attack. And what do we got? We got the circle. Okay, the circle's fine. We want to hit the one that's smiling at us. And there we go. That was a perfect fight. He didn't do the wall attack. Basically, instead of doing the circle, he'll be side to side on you like a wall, and you have to find him. And sometimes he's impossible to find. And you just have to wait for his attack to be over, which wastes like a good 30 seconds. Alright, so we beat up the Magic Mirror. Prince Charming's here to save the day and give Snow White her kiss. And wake her up. Because Disney. In case you're curious, I actually rainbowed that split, which is cool. AKA a gold split. So yay! That Magic Mirror was actually pretty good. Now that she's awake, she can give all the dwarves kisses on the head. Don't ask. And we're done with Snow White's world. Where was Prince Charming during the mirror fight? He was depressed that Snow White was unconscious. I don't know. Disney. But we're gonna go to the Enchanted Dominion now. Sleeping Beauty's world. I'm about to spoil a movie that's like 60 years old, so cover your ears. Alright, so right now we're investigating what Terra is up to, one of our comrades. Be like, hey, look, he's kind of like, you know, like, does he have, like, darkness in his heart? And so we're trying to figure out, like, what happened to Princess Aurora's heart? Like, why is she sleeping? And so we're going to go, like, find out and rescue her and stuff. I'm gonna do it anyway. I'm shutting the marathon down, I swear. So, for our efforts for trying to infiltrate the castle, we get thrown into a dungeon. No, Jan. No, he's not. Alright, so we've got kind of a tricky, for lack of a better word, trick to do right here. So, we'll see if we get it. We're gonna get something a completely unintended way. Lock onto an enemy up here, barrier surge, D-Link. Oh, I forgot to explain D-Links. It allows you to use your friends' abilities instead of your own, and it gives you abilities along with it, which are kind of cool. We want to lure some of these enemies over. Jump, sliding dash across to this chest here. Again, we couldn't get that until we got double flight and glide. So we're getting it a completely unintended way. And we got it first try too, so that's pretty cool. So right now we're gonna need at least 1,200 money, I believe. So we're gonna sell as follows. We're gonna sell Quick Blitz, Blizzard, Ice Barrage, the potion, and the high potions. And then we're going to buy 3 fires, 3 thunders, 3 magnets, and an arrow. This is the one of the longer menus right here. And then we're going to edit our deck, equip a thunder, magnet, another magnet, and then equip the Keyblade that we got from Snow White's World. You'll learn that the magnet spell is very, very, very busted in KH games, and you'll see why in just a sec. Alright, so now we got Hall Goons. We rescued Prince Philip from the dungeon. By the way, Prince Philip was here. He's trying to rescue Aurora. And we're trying to escape Maleficent's castle. And she's got a bunch of goons in our way. First in this big hallway. So basically with Magnet, it just lifts enemies into the air above us for a brief period of time. And we can just spam spells with it, which is really nice. There we go, that's Hall Goons. Does Magnet work on Titans? Like, what kind of Titans? Like, Hades Titans? No. It doesn't work on bosses. Well, except one. You'll see later. Magnet also does damage to whatever is pulling it, so... Alright, now we're on the last part of Castle Escape here. With Prince Philip, we're going to be working together with him to try to get out of here. So, there's a bunch of guys surrounding us. Gotta hit some switches to activate some gates to let us out. And there's just a bunch of enemies all over the place, kind of just willy-nilly. Pretty much you kill one wave of enemies, the next one spawns, then another, and then Prince Philip is going to help us out and have us jump up here and break some walls and do property damage, I guess. Yes, this is actually OOT Castle Escape. That is exactly correct. We are escaping with... Aqua is actually Zelda, and Prince Philip is Link. You figured out the game, Thermal. You did it. Alright, we want to kill all of the enemies around. Otherwise it won't do a prompt for Philip. Allows us to move on. Okay. Okay. He's gonna help us out, but instead of walking all the way up to the switch, why don't we abuse something? We can lock onto the switch and somehow launch a fireball through a wall. You're welcome, Thermal. I got you, bud. This castle's a wreck. Nobody's gonna notice. Exactly. Alright, we're level 4, so we're good on levels. I don't need to do any more. I actually golded that split as well, by the way, in case anybody's curious or cares. So, Castle Escape went pretty well. I gotta do a quick menu here. Grab some fires. And then I need to do... Oh yeah, now I get to explain the crystals. I get to meld. Basically, you combine commands together, have it with a crystal, and it gives you an ability. It's pretty cool. That's the main reason why I like Birth by Sleep. So, with Fleeting Crystals, it gives us an ability called Magic Haste. What Magic Haste does is it allows our commands to recharge faster. Also, I forgot to do something real quick. I need high jump. Okay. What do you mean by why is there just a purple screen? I'm not sure what you mean. Alright, and now we have... Dragon Maleficent. Oh, not yet. Now we have Dragon Maleficent. So Dragon Maleficent is trying to prevent us from saving Princess Aurora. She's kind of taking her last-ditch effort and like, "Rawr, rawr, I can turn into a dragon. What now? What are you gonna do about it?" And so, you know, Maleficent's like one of the biggest, baddest Disney villains out there. So what are we gonna do? Throw fire at her from behind her. And that's it. But she's gonna use fire back on us, so, you know, that's cool too. And then just attack her leg with a command style. Somehow it hits her head. Don't worry about it. Alright, now she's gonna start flying around. We're gonna need Philip's help to get up there. Fire, fire, fire. Got him. Fire, fire. Yeah, you're gonna hear that a lot. Fire. Pretty much everything is vulnerable to fire in this game, which is nice. So we're gonna be abusing that. Also, she's saying gather, not get him. Wait for our commands to recharge and spam some more fire. And that's Dragon Maleficent. I think she'd be a bit more intimidating because she's kind of like the big bad Disney villain, huh? Nope. Not in this game. So we're gonna skip a couple cutscenes, get that happily ever after of Prince Philip kissing Aurora. We don't need to see that though. This is kid friendly. Gotta censor that. I am actually using splits, yes. I do have splits going on my stream here. I am currently 30 seconds behind my splits, but I just golded twice, so we'll see. I did put a very generous estimate though, so we're good on estimate. We're definitely good on estimate right now. Alright, now we're in Radiant Garden, also known as Hollow Bastion. We are, again, trying to find our friends. Right now we need a crystal called an Abounding Crystal, which we're going to use to give us an ability called EXP Walker. It does exactly what it sounds like. You walk around, you gain experience. Pretty cool. To do that, we're going to use Snow White and her dwarves. Cast Sleep. Throw Grumpy. And there's a crystal. Normally that is a 4% chance of dropping off of one of those enemies, so we can just steal it with a dwarf. Alright, there's a menu that I gotta do real quick here. I gotta grab Magnet, an arrow, and then we have a fight with some more Inversed. And we gotta rescue Kairi, who is somehow alive? I don't get how or why, but this takes place 10 years before KH1, where she's a child. I don't get it, but yeah. We get to team up with Mickey and save Kairi. Just the usual spam moves, use command styles to your advantage, and just beat up enemies. Really how it, all this really is. These birds are a bit of a troll. They can either work with you, or they don't. Why is Mickey so mad? Dude, I have no idea. What made him so mad? Fire, fire, gather, fire, fire, wind. You're gonna be hearing a lot more fire. I'm not sure if, because I needed my magnet and my arrow to level up to 2. So we get to find out if they actually leveled or not. But first I need to grab this chest over here. We're gonna need that later. I also need to equip a Keyblade that I just got. It's gonna sound like a distorted xylophone. It's probably my favorite Keyblade in this game. Arrow leveled, but Magnet didn't. So we're gonna have to level that real quick. Dude, I would be too, except this isn't his castle. Alright, so now there's a giant robotic unverse that's trying to form, and we're gonna be fighting it later. Not right now. We'll be fighting it in about 15 minutes, because we gotta do, with typical RPG fashion, do some grinding. Because it'll make the rest of the run easier for later. I'm just waiting on Magnet to level, and then we're out of here. Still hasn't. That's fine. Okay. Getting a bit unlucky with my command not leveling here. Unless it did and I wasn't paying attention. Okay, it did. I wasn't paying attention. That's fine. Alright, now I can leave. After I meld a command real quick. I need to meld that Magnet spell and that Arrow spell with the crystal that I got earlier. Mix this with the EXP Walker ability. Once your commands are at level 3, you max them and you permanently gain the ability. Really nice. Alright, now we get to leave and go back to the Castle of Dreams to do some grinding. Man, Capri, I can't believe you missed the first 2 runs. What a slacker. Like, you're running this marathon, and, like, you haven't even been here for the first 2 runs? Like, my god. Terrible host. Terrible. Alright, so we're gonna be using, Mickey's D-Link here. D-Links have levels. We need him to get to 2nd level, which is max level for D-Links. We already got 1st level, which is pretty nice. We need a 2nd one of those. And then we get an ability called Double Experience, which does exactly as it sounds. We gain double experience. Getting some of these crystal drops is also nice for later, because we're going to be melding more commands. Oh, we got it. Alright. So this is when it's really, the grinding's really gonna start to speed up. Because all I have to do is this. Over. And over. And over. You get the point. The best place to do this is the ballroom, which we're going to be moving to in a sec. We're going to be killing enemies along the way, though, just to level up. and level up commands. Getting a bit lucky in being hit while I'm using commands, though, which is kind of annoying. But hey, what can you do? This part doesn't really need much explanation. It's just me doing the same thing over and over and over again while I'm leveling commands. So, if anybody has any questions, like, during this part, feel free to ask. Like, about the run, that is. Because it's basically just 15 minutes of this total. I've already done 5. Whoa! $50, nice. Sick. That's awesome. Thank you so much for the donation, whoever that was. Alright, we did our first ballroom visit. So we're gonna do some more melding here. We're gonna basically power up our commands here. First thing we want to do, this, and this. Alright, now we gotta do the ballroom visit 3 more times. Exactly 3. We want to be around level 18 before we finish. And have our commands leveled up. Melding, synthesizing, pretty much the same thing. Like, you're combining stuff together to make more powerful stuff. Nice! I'm glad. I'm glad that we're already over halfway toward our goal. That's awesome. Keep it up, guys. I'm glad you guys are enjoying the marathon enough to support it. That means a lot to us. But by us, I mean, like, the people who host it and the people who help, like, keep things in line. Like myself. How am I doing? Okay, I'm good on commands being leveled. Just need to kill some enemies on my way out, and we're good with grinding. Alright, we're gonna hope and pray to RNG that this is a Thundaga. Sometimes it's not. We're gonna ignore those enemies because they're kind of oddly spaced. I think he's testing alerts just to make sure they're fine. Yeah. Alright, now we can leave now that we're level 18. Yep. Just had to double check. We got our commands properly leveled. We're good for the rest of the game on levels. As you can see, that didn't take like super long to do grinding. It was pretty chill. It's kind of my favorite part of the run, because it literally feels like you're just playing an RPG and doing like the chill grinding part. Now we can go back to Radiant Garden. And go chase after that that robot earlier, that robotic inverse that's trying to combine together that I mentioned like 15 minutes ago. Never played or seen KH game? If you're into RPGs, I highly recommend them. They're a lot of fun. And now, oh my god, the parts have combined together, and now the three friends have to fight it. So we get our first and only boss fight where we get to team together as friends and defeat a giant mech. What is this, Gundam? So we're going to be spamming a bunch of fire spells at it to get into our Firestorm command style and just do a butt ton of damage. Sorry, I tried not to curse. And watch his health go. Oh, he's invincible while he does this move, so just gotta wait it out. Watch his health go away again. And he's dead. In case anyone's curious, I am now 2 minutes ahead of my PB. Roughly. So, grinding went really well. Because I got those D-Link levels really quick. On Mickey. Alright, so I gotta equip the other magnet really quick. Because our next boss fight can be abused on magnet. I am actually minus 154, if you want to be technical. But I saved like 2.5 minutes that split. Sorry. I did, like I said, I saved 2.5 minutes. I also golded, by the way. I've golded the past 4 splits. So I'd say so far so good with this run. Jan, please. That's a friend of mine. Excuse me for the hiccups. So now we're going back to the Central Plaza to try to chase after our friends who have run away. Because they're mad about Aqua's mission, which is to try to take Terra back to the Master, because he's concerned that he's, like, evil and stuff, and Ventus is like, my god, Aqua, you're awful. How could you say that about our childhood friend? And so, we have our first fight with Vanitas. We will find out who Vanitas is later. He's working with Xehanort, the Master of Darkness, that I mentioned a while ago. So, we're gonna trap him in Magnet and just spam fire. And a bunch of other spells. It's the one and only boss that can be trapped in fire. So, you get to watch him spin right round like a record, baby. And he's dead. Just like that. It's the one and only boss in the entire game, out of all 3 characters, that you can abuse Magnet and trap him in it. But in Ventus's run, you also fight that boss, and you can put him to sleep constantly. I literally call it the resident sleeper boss fight. But we're not doing Ventus, we're doing Aqua. Alright, so all of the characters have both an escort mission, that one that I did earlier with Jacques the Mouse, and an obligatory unnecessary minigame. Aqua's is playing volleyball with fruits for 5 minutes. And her opponents are not very good. Don't talk about KH3 here, please. I haven't played it yet. Well, I have. I've played for, like, the first half hour. That's all I ask, is don't talk about KH3. So we're just gonna spike a bunch of fruit into their goal. And we're pretty much safe until, once we get at 15 points. You're hungry for fruits that I'm just smacking about into nets. Against shoes? Like, what are those? They're shoes. So we're basically playing this safe, just getting up to 15 points, just to play it safe. And now I can literally put the controller down. And just wait for time to run out. How come Aqua gets to have all the fruit? I know, right? I would love some pancakes. That's great. Oh yeah, and as you can see, my score just went up. Sometimes they just score on themselves. It's pretty great. But yeah, we only get to 15 points just for safety. I could just keep playing if I wanted to, but there's not much point. I kind of use this section to, like, talk to chat in case they have questions. That sort of thing. I know it's not this, like I said, it's kind of a forced minigame. Like, it's very obligatory and unnecessary. Okay, and that's Fruit Ball. And we're done with Disney Town. Not Toontown, Disney Town. Heck yeah, Infinite. That sounds great. And we really don't care about the plot in Disney Town. Like, it's honestly just, hey, there's a festival going on. There's games going on. You three, as in the three friends, play some mini games, and we'll see who's like the winner of the festival. And yeah, they get an award and ice cream named after them. And there you go. That's the plot for Disney Town. It's completely not needed. But anyway, we're going to the next world now. We're going to Deep Space, which is Lilo and Stitch's world. Disney Town. That would be pretty great, Thermal. I agree. If they got ported to Switch. Heck, even Steam. That'd be great. Alright, now we got another mob fight against some Inversed. It's the typical thing. Use Magnet, throw Thunder. Wait for enemies to spawn. Use Magnet. And just kill them all while they're bunched together. And they're dead. No, it's just PS4 and Xbox One. That would be really nice, Jan, I agree. I literally just got it yesterday, so I'm excited about it. I am doing this run for you guys instead of playing KH3. But it's okay, because you guys are worth it. I've played all of the games except 2.8 and 3. So, right now we are investigating a suspicious creature that is on board the ship. It's Stitch, by the way. And we're working with Gantu and the councilwoman at the moment to try to capture it. And now we've got the real resident sleeper part. Chat, if you feel like it, I'm not going to be keeping count, but count how many times Aqua says, take that and gotcha during this fight. It's going to be a lot, and you're probably going to lose count. And I will entirely believe whatever you say. Susie knows. She's seen it. Jan, you are wrong. You have to wait until I'm done with this. No, it's fine. It's fine, Capri. I appreciate the meme. Okay, done. It says gun check, right? Dude, I have no idea. To be honest. 82 billion. Alright, you got it. 89, 92? Probably somewhere around there. You legit counted? Amazing. I think so? Alright, this part we actually have to kill all the enemies before we can access the transporter, which we're gonna need. Okay. They're all toast. $48 seems kind of low. She usually says it at least 70 times. For me, at least. I've never finished that fast. It'd be nice if she only did it 48 times. Alright, and now we're finally up to Stitch, who we have to capture, but not really. It's confusing. Because she realizes that Stitch isn't actually, like, this big weapon of mass destruction, and that he's actually kind of friendly. Damn it. Alright, there we go. That's a forced mob fight with where you team up with Stitch there. It's so hard to count. I know, it's hard. It's so hard to count during that. Which is why I just lose track and concentrate. You get bored and keep track of every spell I use. Hell yeah, Infinite Gamer, that sounds great. I mean, heck yeah. Dang it. No cursing. Stop it. Oh yeah, I need to do a menu here real quick. I need to equip Poison, and Mind Square. I'm sorry. I forget, kid-friendly. I'm so used to cursing. Alright, this is my favorite room in the entire run. It's low gravity. It's really fun jumping in low gravity. Because you can jump really high like this. Also, I forgot to equip something. It's okay. I don't think I actually need it. Right, Susie? I know the feels. I'm not used to being PG either. Right. And, Gantu's pissed that, he didn't capture Stitch for the Councilwoman. Councilwoman's like, you're fired, and Gantu's, like, wants to let off some steam and capture Stitch anyway, so... Here we are, trying to save Stitch. Against Gantu. And he's gigantic. So he has a huge hitbox. And he's susceptible to poison. And he's dead. Just like that. Fire! Fire! Thunder! And we're done with Deep Space. Gantu gets punished and just ejected from the ship. We don't get to see it though, because I'm skipping cutscenes. Why is that shark on land? Have you not seen Lilo and Stitch? Gather! Thunder! Gather! Alright, menu real quick here. Put magnet back on. Equip the Keyblade that I just got. And go to Olympus Coliseum. We're going to see Hercules, guys. Except it's Kid Hercules, back before he was like before he was like super swole and godly and such. Bet that's the biggest meme in KH speedrun history. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Zero to hero, Hercules. Okay, I'll stop making your guys' ears bleed. I'm sorry. So we got more mob fights. Just Magnet and that. Over and over again. Why does he say gather? Like, what does that mean? You mean she? Gather means they're using the magnet spell. Yeah, because magnet gathers enemies in one place. That's it, really. Alright. So, after that mob fight, we gotta grab this chest behind this pillar here. It's Kira. We're gonna need it for later, for the final bosses. Yeah. No, it's cool. You're fine. Alright, now we get to enter the games! And kill a bunch of Unversed. Within the time limit. 10 of them, 10 waves of them, in fact. The skeleton key, it opens everything. I knew it. Ah, okay. Underrated Mario Party items. Skeleton key. Absolutely. Fire! Yep. Gather! Thunder! Fire! Gather! You get used to it after a while. Alright, now we got the Troll Jelly Shades. They love to randomly attack you and interrupt your commands. Like this. And I completely whiffed. Okay, that's 10 rounds. I actually saved time, believe it or not. Just cool. I got another gold. Alright, so we got the longest menu in the game to do right here, right after 10 rounds. You're gonna be hearing a buttload of fire, 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 like constantly. Like, dude, just call the firefighters already. Just call... If there's a fire, like, stop shouting it. Alright, access this shop here. Sell basically everything, except a couple things. Until we have, like, 6,100, roughly. Okay, good. We're gonna buy a sliding dash. 4 of these. And 2 of these. Then menu. And just equip all of these. Just call the firefighters already. That's a good quote if we had quotes. And now we have Zach, who he was impressed with how we did in the games, and he wants to ask us out on a date. And Aqua's like, "No, stranger danger." It's like, okay, fine, but we have to fight anyway. Smell smoke. Fire! 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 Like I said, you're going to be hearing this a lot. And he's done. No, I don't want to go on a date. Sounds like your life. Welp. Fire! 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 And for the last opponent we have to fight in the games, it's Hades. But, of course, it's Hades, so we don't gotta fight him fair. He's just like, hey, look, I've got an Ice Titan with me. And Zach's just like, that's unfair. I'm gonna fight with you. And Aqua's just like, no, I'm an independent woman. I don't need no man. And she takes them both on like an awesome person. Hades is actually immune to fire, so we're gonna be spamming fire on the Ice Titan to level up our command style, and then just beat the crap out of Hades with physical moves. Yes. Yes, they do, Ace. By the way, I'm currently about 3 minutes ahead, so... in case anybody's curious. And he's done. Ah, he went invincible. When he goes red like this, he's invincible. So I'm probably going to lose like 10 seconds here. Roughly. Literally from RNG and nothing else. And he's dead. Just like that. I literally lost 10 seconds too. That's it. And we're done with Olympus Coliseum. That's Hades and Ice Colossus. Using fire on the Fire Queen. Totally. And now we get to go to Neverland. The second last world, technically, that has bosses in it, at least. The rest are pretty much just cutscenes. We're off to Neverland. That's right. Safe fire runs over. It's not over. It's not. Alright, so this is basically like the trickiest platforming part of the run. So I might need a little bit of concentration for certain parts. My PB is a 1:34:11. Currently 2 minutes and 42 seconds ahead. But the reason I made the estimate 150 was because of these last 3 boss fights. They're all hard, especially this next one. Like, this next boss is the hardest boss of the run, so I'm gonna be quiet once I get to him, just so I can concentrate. I'm pretty much only using sliding dash for movement purposes, as you can see, and nothing else. Alright. So, Peter Pan and friends are having us, like, investigate for our friends and disturbances around the island in Neverland. Aqua's just like, wait, I can't fly, and Tinkerbell's like, well, here, with pixie dust, you can do anything. It's magic. Will Pixie Dust give you Dark Magician in DM1 if you believe hard enough? Alright, we're done with the platforming section, so now we have Vanitas again, except this time he can't be trapped in magnets, so he's a lot harder. So we're gonna do a menu real quick, get rid of sliding dash, grab the ignite spells. They basically are burning damage over time. Susie, please. Alright. I'm gonna be kind of quiet, because this boss is the hardest boss to run. Basically, we're doing a hit-and-run strategy. So, here goes nothing. He likes to teleport away from your attacks a lot at random, which is annoying, but we'll see how this goes.
Too slow. Too slow.
Like that. Alright, now he's doing his desperate move, where he just goes into underground and pops back up. When he's at half health or less, you start seeing desperate moves. It is very possible to die on this fight, by the way. He's dead. Very nice. I actually saved time. I saved 20 seconds. This QuickFest Speed Fest is brought to you by the word fire. Indeed. Thank you. So we're done with Neverland now. We've got a lot of cutscenes to skip. Like, a lot of them. It's basically Aqua reminiscing about... Because Peter Pan and friends dig up a box filled with, like, childhood memories, and Aqua is just sitting here reminiscing, like, what are my memories? Like, I remember my friends. Yeah, I've explained it to Susie, don't worry. Don't worry, Jan. I got you. Our new goal is to raise fire. Hell yeah. Heck yeah. Raise fire? Alright, there's one last tricky part to this run. It's not skipping these cutscenes. I promise you that. It's in the final world. Let's set the donation goal on fire. Let's do it. Get to skip more cutscenes. Now we're in Master Yensid's tower. By the way, Yensid is Disney backwards. Fun fact. It'll be fire. Let's go. It's gonna be lit. Oh yeah, to basically explain what's going on, Aqua found out that her world was consumed by darkness, and and her master is dead, and, well, she went to go seek, her master's master for advice. And he's like, Xehanort's the bad guy. Go find him here. You'll save your friends that way. And yeah, that's that. Jan, please. It's not consumed by fire. Oh, you're right. It's consumed by fire. Not darkness, by fire. We're gonna trail fire. Fire. I'm glad you guys are enjoying it. Alright, our last menu of the run. Get rid of these ignites, they're useless. And equip our newest Keyblade that gives us a magic boost. Because Aqua's magic isn't high enough, apparently. Alright, this is the tricky part. The Twister Trench. Basically, we don't want to get sucked up into any twisters. Otherwise, we have to fight enemies and lose time. There's a way to get through this without hitting a single twister, and I have not optimized it, so here we go. Ah! Alright. I accidentally went a little too close into one. That's okay. That's alright. Normally this would lose me a run, but I'm actually so far ahead, I might still PB. No, I don't have a run of it on SRC. I don't feel like it's good enough to be on SRC quite yet. Oh my god, I actually got an Abounding Crystal off one of those guys. That is a 4% chance to get, by the way. For it to just drop. Fire's your new favorite meme? Sounds good. This is how I remember Twister. And we're out of here. Gonna heal real quick. And we've got the final two bosses of the run. Can go burn and fire. 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 So we got some more cutscenes to skip. Basically, they're meeting up with Xehanort and Vanitas, and they're like, hey, we got to stop him. And Terra's just like, I'll go after Xehanort. And then, like, Braig's here too. And Aqua's just like, I'll go after Braig. And Ventus is like, I'll go after Vanitas. And Ventus gets like, wrecked. So, yeah, that happens. I'm doing fire. And Aqua's just like, well, what the heck? I gotta save him. And Braig's just like, no you don't. You still gotta deal with me. So, this is a bit of a defensive fight. He can easily wreck you if you're not careful. So we're gonna reflect his projectiles back at him. This attack you really can just dodge, and not really anything else. Oh, yep, I died just like that. Like I said, it's kind of dangerous at times. That's okay. I probably just lost PB, but the run's still very much alive. No big deal.
Nice knowing ya. Kiss yourself goodbye.
Just gonna spam fire some more, and more, and more, and more. Ah, I lost. Okay. For some reason, she wasn't locking on anymore, so that was interesting. Oh well. That's okay. The weirder fire sounds. Sounds good. As you can see, I'm not really the type to, like, lose my cool if I lose a run. Like, things happen, you know? Sometimes there's just nothing you can do about it. Alright, he's done.
That's the end of that.
Alright, final boss. I will shout time when I get the final hit. So. Ventus and Vanitas are now combined together because Ventus is the light half and Vanitas is actually the dark half of Ventus. And now they're to combine together. And Aqua's trying to free Ventus. And yeah, that's really it. Thanks for the follow. Sorry, I know my alerts are on.
Too slow. Yes, you are.
Oh yeah, you team up.
Too slow.
It's when his health bar goes away, by the way. Like, completely. I will definitely shout for time.
Too slow. And now the end. Let's tear.
Time? Actually, that wasn't too bad. I was only 22 seconds behind PB. Considering I was 3 minutes ahead after Vanitas 2, that wasn't bad. Aside from Braig. Like, that wasn't a bad run at all. Yeah, that was Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep, Aqua Any Percent Beginner on PS3. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And, see you guys real soon for the Toy Story 2 community race for, bingo. Thanks for having me, guys. GG.